Hello guys, I welcome you back to Graphic Tutorials. In this session of tutorials, we are going to design a music concert flyer. But before then, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, I just want you to subscribe to Graphic Tutorials for more amazing graphic design content. So guys, let's head on to making our music concert flyer. So first of all, let's go to our Photoshop and let's start with it. So first of all, I will open my Photoshop. I'll go to my new file and I'll make sure that the width of the flyer is 1100. Then I will set the height to be 1100. I will leave the resolution to be 300. Then I'll make sure that they are on pixels. So let me make sure that this is 1100. 1100, and let's give it a name as music concerts. So after I'm done with this, I'm just clicking on create to make my background. So this is the background that we are going to work on for our today's session of tutorial. So without much ado, I will go to my view and go to my guys and go to my new guide layout. Then I will just apply this and hit on OK. So guys, we are going to create our background. So first of all, I'll go to my file, I go to my place link, then I go to my music concerts where my resources are. So guys, these are the resources that we are going to use for our flyer for this session. So first of all, I'm going to import this one in, and I make sure that it takes the entire background, something like this. So after I'm done with this, I make sure that I go to my filter, I go to my blur and go to my Gaussian blur. So I will just blur it to a radius of 9.6. Then I will just go and hit on OK. So this is what I will have. So after I'm done with this, I will go on to my file again and go to my place link. This time I'm going to place a link like this. So I will make sure that I push it to the top of the flyer. So I will make it like this, something. So I make sure that it takes the entire background. So I will just push it at the top there, and I'll just select it and make sure that the blending option is just like this. So I will just set the blending option to luminosity, then I'll hit on OK. So this is the effect that I just want to show, or I just want it to appear on the background. So I will select it and go to my brush. I make sure that the hardness of the brush is just 0%. Then I'll just increase the size of the brush to about 1000 something there about. Then I'll just rasterize it. Let me decrease the brush a little bit. So let's clean the down part of this image so that it will just blend perfectly with the background. So this is something that I just want to create. Very nice and very beautiful. So after I'm done with this, I'll go on to my file and go to my place link. This time I'm going to place a link like this. So after I have imported this resource, I'll make sure that I will just change the entire image to black and white. So to do this, I will just hold on Shift, Control, Alt, then B. Then it will just turn to black and white. So this is what I just want to set it. So I just want the down parts of the flyer, this image that I have just imported, I just want this down part. So I will take my eraser, then I will start to just clean the top there. I will just clean the top there. I want the down part of, so I will just clean this top here so that I will get the down part of it. So after I've gotten something like this, I can just shift, or I can just increase it to any type I just want it to be. So I will just select it and I make sure that the blending option is on hard light. So this is what I just want to create, something like this, very nice and very beautiful. So after I'm done with this, I will just go on and be importing my ministers for the flyer. So I'll go to my file and go to my place link. So I will just place my first link like this. So this is the first image that I just want to place. So something like this, very nice and beautiful. So I will select it and I will do the same thing that I did with the recent background that I just imported. So I will just hold on Shift, Control, Alt and B. Then I will just turn it to black and white. So this is what I just want. So I will select it. I'll make sure that I take my eraser, then I just clean the down part of this image so that it will just blend with the background for it to be very cool and very amazing. So this is what I just want to create. So after that, I'll go to my file and go to my place link again. This time I'm going to place a link like this, and I'll make sure that I do the same effect to this background too. So I will just hold on my Shift or Control, Alt and B. Then I will turn this also to black and white, something like this. So I will just go to my where my layers are arranged, then I'll pull it down to my image, something like this. So I will just expand it a little bit. So let's expand it a little bit like this, so that we create an effect like this. So I'll select it and go and pick my eraser. As usual, I'll just clean the down part of the image so that it will just blend with the background, something like this, very nice and very beautiful. So after I'm done with this, let's go and import our last minister. So place link again, and I will just import this minister here. So the same method, Shift, Control, Alt, B. Then I will turn this one also to black and white. So if you find it difficult in turning the putting on or turning the image to black and white by this shortcut, you can go to the image at the top there, you go to your adjustment, then you just move on to black and white. It will do the same thing. So I will select this image here and go and take my brush, then I'll make sure that I clean the down part of this image like this. So as usual, I will just select this image and pull it down like this so that it will just come at the down of the flyer. So I just want to create something like this. So after I'm done with this, I can just be adjusting the sizes and the spaces of the images that I have just imported. So let me reduce the eraser and let me clean this one a little bit like this so that it will be more nice and more beautiful. So this is what we are actually having right now, very nice and very beautiful. So now let me increase the size of this a little bit like this. So this is what we are having now. So now after I'm done with this, I will just import another resource. So I will just go to my file and go to my place link. This time I just want to import this flare inside. So I will just make sure that it takes the entire of the background, and I make sure that I change the blending option to something like subtract, something like this, very nice and beautiful. So I will just pull it down so that I will just get an effect like this. I just want to get an effect like this, very nice and very beautiful. So after I'm done with this, I will just pick my eraser, then I will do some cleanings around the image. I just want the flare to be only on the images that I have just placed. So I will just clean around the images like this so that I will wipe away the flare. So I can just be increasing the flare like this. I can be increasing it so that it will be very nice and very beautiful. So I think this is very cool and nice. I think this is very cool. So let me take my brush again and do some small cleaning around the images, something like this. Very nice and very beautiful. So after I'm done with this, I will just select my flare, and this time I just want to add some curves to it. So I'll select it and go to my panel here, and I'll just go to my curves, then I'll click this so that the curves will be only on the flare that I just imported. So this time I'll pull the flare upwards a little bit like this, or I can pull it a little bit downwards like this. I think downwards will do the magic, so I just want it to be like this, very nice and beautiful. So I just want it to be like this. So this is how the flyer is looking, very nice and very attractive. So now after I'm done with this, I'll go to my file again, and this time I just want to bring this theme here. So I will just be increasing this like this, so that I will get an effect like this, very nice and very beautiful. So this is what I just want to do, very nice and very beautiful. So I can be increasing it a little bit like this, or let me decrease it a little bit so that we get some enough space at the down of the flyer. So this is how our flyer is now looking like, very nice and very attractive. So now it has left for us to add some few text to what we have just done. So I'll just pick my text tool, and I just want to write something like, let me select it and give it a white background, a white color, so that I will see what I'm just typing. So let me type something like praise effects. So I'll select it, and this time I'll make sure that I pick a font called, let me pick a font called Better Saturday Regular. So I just want to pick this font here. So I'll just pull it down to the bottom of the flyer, something like this. So let us do some small adjustment with what I've just made, so that we will create some little space at the down of the flyer. So I can hide this one, and then I will select my images, then I will do a little resizing of the images, like this, so that we will get a very nice and very powerful flyer. So I think this one is very cool and nice. So let us push this one a little bit, so we can just decrease the size of the text effects, something like this. I think something like this is cool and nice. Then we will push the praise effects like this, so that we will get something like this. I think this is very cool. So we can just bring this on, so that everything will be so cool and amazing. So let us continue on adding text to what we have just made. So I just want to add the names of the minister. So let us change the font to Roboto. So I'll just type the names of the minister. So minister Package Junior, something like this. So I will just select it, and I will resize it to the smallest that I just want it to be. Then I will just push it at the top of the flyer like this. So let's do the same thing to here. So this time I will select this one too, and I just want to type something like Minister Joyce. Then the same thing. Then let me do the same thing here. So I'll just type something like Minister Frimpong. So this is what I just want to do at the top of the flyer. Very nice and very beautiful. So this is what I just want us to make. So after we have done with this, we can go on and add the dates of the program. So let us type something like 24th June 2023. Then let us select it and give it a bold font, something like this. So I'll make sure that it is in caps. Then I'll just push it down here, something like this. So let us resize it a little bit like this. So I can also be adding the location of the program to it. So I can add something like Glory Dome Medina Accra, something like this. Very cool and beautiful. But let me make sure that they are all in caps. So Glory Dome Medina Accra, something like this. Very nice and beautiful. So this time let us change it to a regular font and let us decrease the size so that it will just fit under the date and the time, something like this. Is cool and very attractive. So this is what I just want us to make. So now it has left for us to import our media partners. So I will just go to my file, go to my place link, and be importing these resources. So I will just resize them to an extent like this. Then I'll bring this one also in. Then I will just decrease the size of it. Then this is what I just want to do. Very nice and very beautiful. Then I'll do the last one too. I will add the last media partner. Then I will just decrease the size of it to an extent like this. Then I'll pull it just closer here. So this is what I just want to do. So I can bring my ruler so that I know that I'm just doing the right alignment. So I can just pull this one a little bit downwards like this. Then I will just pull this one to a little bit downwards like this. So I can just Ctrl+J to duplicate the location and just pull it down here. Then I will just pick my typing tool and select it, and this time I just want to write something like media partners, something like this. Very nice and beautiful. So I'll make sure that it is just under it and it is aligned centrally. So this is what I just want to do. So after I'm done with this, it has left with the time of the program. So I will just go and pick my ellipse tool or the circle. Then I will just draw a circle like this here. So something like this. Then I will just select my circle here. Then go to the fill. Then I will just pull the fill to 0% like this. Then I was still selecting this ellipse or the circle. I'll go to my effects and go to strokes. Then I'll add some tiny strokes to it. So about 3 is normal, so I'll just hit on OK. So this is what I just want to make. Then in this circle I just want to bring the date, so let's type the date 7 p.m. something like this, but let us make sure that it is a medium font, something like this. Then I'll just pull it inside. So now we can just add something like sharp to it for it to look more beautiful and attractive. So let me make it a regular font, something like this. Then let me just push it just under the time like this. Very nice and beautiful. But we can just increase the size of the time like this, so that to make it more beautiful and more attractive. So this is what I just wanted us to do. So now we are almost done with what we are just doing with this flyer. So it has left with few things to add. So I will just go to my place link once more time, and this time I just want to bring this sign here. So I will just reduce it to an extent like this. Then I just want to add something like the name of the praise team, or the name of the name of the praise team. So I just want to type something like glorious praise team. So this is what I just wanted to add. So I will just resize it to an extent like this. Then I will just place it just closer to the symbol that I just made on top. So now I think we are almost done with what we just wanted to do with this flyer. So let me do few adjustments to what we just made. So I just want to increase a little bit of the praise effect like this, so that it will look more awesome at the down there. So I think we are almost done with what we just wanted to create. So this is how our flyer is looking now. Very awesome and very, very amazing. So this is the end of the flyer, and I've just placed all the resources just under the description. You can go on and download the resources, and you can just study a lot of stuff from this tutorial that I have just made to create a wonderful and beautiful church flyer or church music concert. So you can go on and download it and learn a lot of stuff from what I have just made. So this is the end of the flyer. We'll meet at another session of tutorial. But if you are new here and you haven't subscribed to our channel, I just want you to subscribe to JN Graphic Tutorial for such amazing content like this. So thank you, and meet you at another time. God bless you. Bye bye.